everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Sheer Strikes podcast. My name is Eric Sheer, and we got an even series. The Tampa Bay Lightning defeat the unfortunately, well, for us, fortunately, cursed Toronto Maple Leafs. 5-3 on Wednesday night. Monday night we got killed, but Wednesday night, the 4th, we won. So 5-3 was the final of that. And let's just go back and chat with that. So for starters, 1-1 series going back to Tampa, pretty much stole home ice from Toronto. And that is huge. The backlash of seeing all of the Maple Leafs fans act like they'd pretty much won the Stanley Cup, kind of like how Montreal did when they won their one game against us last year in the finals. As Nikita Kucherov pointed out, in a maybe not a sensitive way. But so we needed to win this. We could not go down 2-0 to a team like this. Their offense is explosive and it can kill you at any time. So we needed to win, and we were 14-0 after a loss. Now we are 15-0 in the past, technically now 3 postseasons. And Vasilevsky plays unbelievable in that time. So first period, I thought we played well. I thought we pretty well dominated the entire first. Obviously, there were some issues. Toronto had more shots than we did. It was 13-9 shot differential. But 5:46 into the first period, it was a little sloppy. We took too many men on the ice call. You can't do that in the playoffs. It is what it is, really, but whatever. Killed it off. And then at 11 minutes into the first period, Pat Maroon runs Jack Campbell totally fine, honestly. In my opinion, we needed to shake him a little. He shut us out the last game. So obviously Tampa plays better when we're more physical. Is the right way to do it running the goalie? Absolutely not. I do not endorse that from Patty, but sometimes things happen and it did, and it helped a little bit, in my opinion. So then Mark Giordano gets a holding call against Brandon Hagel. Nothing comes of that for us. And then Alex Kerfoot gets a holding call against Brandon Hagel. And that was at 19:15 of the first. And that's where we convert finally on the power play. Victor Hedman scores with what the clock read was 1.4 seconds left, but they reviewed it and actually went in at 3 seconds. So he scored at 19:57 of the first period, assisted by Alex Killorn. Man, when I tell you I went psychotic when the puck crossed the line, I wouldn't be lying. Well, I went nuts. That was such a big momentum builder. I've said it multiple times. I don't know if I've said it on here, but I know I've said it in person to a lot of people. You give up a goal in the first minute or the last minute of a period, momentum killer for the other team. So we end the first period up 1-0, and what I just said rang true. And Corey Perry scores 2:21 into the second period, assisted by Victor Hedman on a beautiful pass from the defensive zone by Heddy. Leads Perry on a breakaway and rips it between Campbell's legs. And so it's 2-0. That was phenomenal. Then Michael Bunting, in his first playoff game ever, obviously he's a rookie. He led the rookies in scoring this year, so had quite a season. But first playoff game, he's 26, I think. Scores his first goal of the playoffs, first ever playoff goal, obviously. Assisted from Marner and Matthews. Matthews had a wonderful play down in the corner. I will give credit where credit is due, and that was stunning. Up to Marner, and Marner just sent it over to Bunting, and Bunting just one-timer into the net. But then Nikita Kucherov scores on the power play from Hedman and Stamkos. Stunning goal. That was a Nikita Kucherov-esque goal. It was, you couldn't write that any better. I mean, that's literally where he scores. If he scores on the power play, it's right there. And it was stunning. Top of the circles, a little bit more towards the boards, and it was just beautiful shot, beautiful placement right over Campbell's glove. I don't think Campbell could really see the puck, but I don't even care. So, man, give me a long day. Sorry about that. So that'll do it for the scoring in the second period, but there were 3 penalties. Wayne Simmons roughing against Pierre-Edouard Bellemare at 9:28, excuse me. A lot of people hated that call, but honestly, even as a hockey fan, if I was watching if I was watching the Panthers and Capitals game, I don't know why I'd ever do that to myself, but if I was watching that game, that's still a penalty. And especially the way that they've been calling the game or the series, let alone, that's a penalty every time. And Wayne Simmons admitted that, and we scored on that power play. And he admitted it after the game that he took stupid penalties that were penalties. I don't know why a lot of fans are like, they're Tampa the refs gave Tampa the game. The refs blah, 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 blah. Like, did they? Like, I didn't see it, but it is what it is. So third period rolls around, and Brandon Hagel, 1:33 into the period. Brandon Hagel gets his first career playoff goal in his first career playoff game. Second career playoff game, but first career goal. Sorry, I forgot. I forgot this was game 2. So Hagel comes from Hagel's goal assists come from Paul and Kucherov. I'm telling you, Paul is impressing, and he is a big boy to play against in the playoffs, and I love watching it. And then again on the power play, Braden Point converts for his first of the playoffs. Man, I'm tired today. Assists come from Kucherov and Hedman, so that is Kucherov's 3rd point of the night, and that is Hedman's 4th point of the night. Stunning. Again on the power play, it was that awesome play of down to or over from Hedman over to Kucherov, quick one-time pass in the middle of the point, and Point makes a little bit of a move, which usually doesn't happen, but it did, and it worked. So I'm not complaining. Then Mitch Marner, I can't stand that man. Keeps his playoff goal streak alive. I mean, he didn't score for 18 games in the playoffs. Now he scores 2 in a row. So whatever. 11:53 into the third period. Assists come from Muzzin and Matthews. All right, whatever. 5-2. Not worried. And I was watching the game, and my cousin was watching it with me, and she's like, we better not lose this game. And I'm like, honestly, I don't really care what the score is as long as we have the higher number. At the end of the day, that's why at the same point, like, was I worried that we lost 5-0? No. Was I upset? Yeah, sure. I mean, you don't want to lose a game in the playoffs, especially when you felt like you handed it to them on a silver platter. And we did. And John Cooper realized that. The team realized that. And you could tell with the way that they started the game and the way that they played throughout the game, aside from the last 9 or so minutes, wasn't great. So, but it is what it is, honestly. Like I said, whoever has the highest score, it's just one game on the series. It doesn't matter at all. Like the 5-0, who cares? It's 1. 5-0 equals 1 game. If you do that a couple games in a row or in the series, sure, then I'd be worried. But it's one game. I don't care. And like this, 5-3, don't care. Don't care what the score was. And that third goal for Toronto comes from Alex Kerfoot, shorthanded. That's 2 shorthanded goals against us. That is worrisome. That is the only part of this game that I was actually like, oh my God, no, let's figure that out, because 15:43 into the third period, give them a little bit of life in the last 5 minutes of that game. You can't do that. That's what you can't do, is you can't give them life, especially on a shorthanded goal late in the game when they have an explosive offense in Marner, Matthews, Nylander. Tavares has been super quiet. Stamkos has been super quiet. Both captains haven't done anything in the series, but I don't care. Tavares can stay quiet as long as Stamkos can stay quiet as long as Tavares does. But if Tavares starts to heat up, then I need Stammer to start doing something, but it is what it is. We shut down that power play, and that power play is lethal for the Maple Leafs. So we killed off 4 of their penalties. But in the third period, there were some penalties. Surprise, surprise. Refs can't keep the whistle in the pocket. They're coming for me. If you didn't hear that, the cops are coming for me because they disagree with my statements, but I don't really care. No, I'm kidding. But Willie Nylander gets a tripping call against Belly. 2:08 into the third period. Wayne Simmons gets a cross check against Corey Perry, which we scored on. Again, a lot of people didn't like that, but he literally came up behind him, cross checked him into the goalie. That's a penalty. I don't care what you say. Michael Bunting slashing against Chernak. This was disgusting at 14:54 of the first period. That was disgusting. That wasn't a slash. That was a spear. Literally got him where no man ever should want to get hit or should get hit. And Bunting was like arguing the call. And it's like, dude, you literally just cup checked a guy. Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but you literally just made sure he couldn't have children. So that was, I don't know how you can argue that call is pretty blatant. So whatever. But anyway, 17:25 of the first. And that's the one that they scored on. Sorry. So the Bunting penalty that he whined and complained about was the one that they scored that shorthanded goal on. So I, again, wouldn't really complain about it if I was Bunting. 1, it was obvious. 2, you scored on it. Who cares, right? So Braden Point gets a slashing call against Austin Matthews to 17:25, and that I was terrified about too, because like I said, we just gave them momentum. They had pulled their goalie, so it was a 6-on-4 with that lethal power play. I was terrified, but we pulled it out. 1-1 series, and that is all that you can really hope for. So tonight, Friday, May 6th, 7:30, we are finally back in Amalie. Sonia Bryson Kirksey, the national anthem singer for the Lightning, who is just phenomenal. If she's somehow watching this, hello, you're fantastic. But yeah, so 7:30 tonight, Amalie Arena. The boys should be buzzing. They love playing at home. And they want to use their home ice. They don't want to give it up. If they, like I said, this game, I said this to a couple people. This game is important because it's 2-1 for whatever team. But in my opinion, Sunday, May 8th, is really pivotal because, well, you either tie up the series at 2 or somebody takes a stranglehold on the series and could win it on Tuesday. So this game's huge because I don't want to have the pressure of, oh my God, I need to tie up the series on Sunday. I'd rather be like, okay, let's get into let's win the game. Then on Sunday, if we win it, let's put them out on Tuesday. If we lose it, it's a best of 3. So I'm not, obviously I don't want to lose a game too. So there's that. But for my playoff bracket, I'd like them to win in 6. That'd be nice. So, but with that being said, I also want to point out that I love Louis Domingue, and he is now the third string for the Pittsburgh, but he's now starting playoff games because they've got injuries there. And they lost. They lost to the Rangers, but that series is tied. I'll do a little quick playoff recap, I guess. Why not? Let's touch on every series. So the Penguins Rangers tied 1-1. The Stars Flames tied 1-1. The Stars even the series last night with a 2-0 win. When I say last night, I'm talking about Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, Thursday. Then the Panthers Capitals. Panthers tied it up last night with a 5-1 win over the Capitals, and the Avalanche are now in a commanding 2-0 lead over the Nashville Predators. Really not a surprise, but what is a surprise is that last night's game went into overtime, and Nashville's goalie, who also was a Tampa Bay draft pick, was in net, third string, because David Riddick sucked in their first game. And in Ingram's first ever playoff game and only his fourth NHL game, he had to stop 51 shots, stopped 49 of them because obviously they lost 2-1 in overtime. But on an offense like that, that's nothing to be ashamed about. Okay, so then the Carolina game, or Carolina-Boston, that game's game 3 is tonight. Carolina has a 2-0 lead over the Boston Bruins. That's surprising to me because Carolina doesn't have a goalie either. So, yeah, I can't believe that. But Minnesota, St. Louis, that's also game 3 is tonight. That series is phenomenal. I hope that goes 7 just because that's a fun series. Will it? I don't know. And Edmonton, LA, that's also tied at 1. So we'll see what happens. I think Jonathan Quick for LA right now is playing like Jonathan Quick of 2012. And that is scary because that's when they won the cup. And that's when they were a low seed like they are and went on to win the whole thing. So hopefully we don't have to see them until the Stanley Cup Finals. Well, obviously we won't see them until the Stanley Cup Finals. They're a Western team, idiot. But hopefully we don't see him, and I hope we don't see Minnesota, St. Louis, Colorado, you name it. I don't want to see any of those powerhouses. Will we? Probably, but I don't want to. I'd like a nice easy coast to the Stanley Cup final, and then an easy Stanley Cup would be nice, but we'll see. So can't expect too much. Can't get your hopes up after winning 2 in a row. They're tired. So, but with that being said, I hope you all watch game 3 tonight, 7:30 Amalie Arena. Should be a good game like the rest of them have been. It's been a weird playoffs though for every series there, other than that Colorado game last night, which is really weird. They've all been fairly high scoring. You usually get 1-2 goal games in the playoffs, and it was 5-0 in the Lightning game, first game. It was 5-3 in the second game. Like that is a lot of scoring. And I mean, the scoring has been up this year in the NHL. So does it surprise me? No, but like kind of, because it's the playoffs. So it is what it is. The more goals, the more exciting it is. So, well, with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and let's go Bolts.